one tonight, obviously, the Warriors, 26 of 41 from three, which literally one of the best of all time. Tough to guard that.
What was
right?
the exact question?
I'm just saying, like, that's just tough, right? I mean, no matter how you guys play.
Yes.
Deflating.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brutal. I don't know, man. It's late. I'm just trying to, like, I didn't even ask a question. And I learned that 30 years ago in the business to ask a question. I really didn't. I kind of left it open-ended for you just because it was one of those things where, like, you guys were, like, chipping away and then they would just somehow,
for sure.
you know.
And they made runs. I mean, we couldn't put enough stops together in critical moments. I mean, Draymond starting off 5 for 5. I think Wiggs started off 3 for 4. Obviously, Steph and Clay, some of those you kind of tip your cap to, in a sense, just understand that they're going to hit tough shots. But, I mean, you don't really anticipate Draymond going 5 for 5. Obviously, Hall of Fame player and whatnot, but not necessarily a shooter.
How deflating is it when you guys go into a game and you find out, your defensive anchor and a guy like AD is not playing? And then again, how much does that change kind of what you guys do defensively?
Oh, I mean, it changed a ton. I mean, he's arguably the best defender in the league. But we got to roll with the punches. I mean, Brian got here, he was feeling under the weather, so, we were kind of shorthanded today, but we're not in the business of making excuses, and, we don't really have any time for that. We got 2 more games we got to win. That's really all there is to it.
Spencer, when AD's not on the court, I think the first thing I think of is, like, the rim protection's going to suffer. But
of course,
how did that, not having him back at the rim, kind of show up with the way they were able to shoot threes? Do you think that mattered?
Well, I mean, anytime you can get, penetration to the paint, kick out, you get higher quality threes. Not having AD back there as a, anchor and safety valve in a sense. We had to overhelp at times. But again, I mean, credit them, they hit a lot of shots, shots that, the game plan kind of intended to give up, just in terms of, like, Draymond, stuff like that. And they made us pay for it.
I mean, obviously, none of us know what's going to happen in terms of who's available in Memphis at this moment. Have you guys been through enough to the point where you feel confident that no matter who's out there, you can rise to the challenge?
Yeah, I mean, I think this team has a great amount of confidence. Obviously, we got a ton of guys that can put the ball in the hole. We just got to have an attention to detail to the game plan, get enough stops, which obviously we didn't do tonight. But, we feel capable of doing on most nights, and, just go from there.
It just seemed like every time you guys got closer, chipped away, Warriors would make you pay somehow. 26 of 41. I mean, literally one of the better shooting nights in the history of the NBA from them.
Yeah, I mean, they have the ability to do that, so it's not surprising. Obviously, Day got it going early, had the 5 for 5 from 3, and you have to tip your cap to him. You go out with a game plan, and when they exploit the game plan, you tip your cap. And Day definitely, messed with our game plan with him shooting the ball he did in the first half, and but you give a team that shoots 23, makes 26 threes, it's gonna be hard to beat them.
What can you share with us just over the last couple of days, just how you've been feeling and what went into being able to play tonight?
Just try to get as much rest as I could, stay hydrated as much as I could, man. Give my team as much as I could today. I came in, it was a Sunday before my normal prep day, for the Minnesota game, and started to get worse. But as the minutes went on, so I went home, and pretty much today was like one of the first days I was able to get out of the room, get out of bed, and feel a little bit of energy, and I guess well enough to be able to come here and try to help the team.
Okay.
You told us when we were in Memphis that this team has to prioritize health and proceeding down the stretch, because what's the point of the seed if you don't have the healthy bodies? That said, putting that into action in a game like tonight, and, Anthony has to miss it, does that take any toll on the team's kind of spirit, considering the momentum you guys had going?
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, we know we're as good as any team in the league when we're whole. And when we're not, we can't. It's hard for us to make up, especially having a guy like AD, not playing. It's almost pretty much impossible to make up for what he provides for our ball club, both offensively and defensively.
When LeBron, the standings are what they are. I mean, just like an eyelash between teams and so much at stake between being 10-9 and 9-8. Does your mind ever go to any other what ifs? Like just the human natural part of it, to think back to other moments throughout this really long year and the impact something in December or something in early March could have on a moment right now?
I mean, of course, but I mean, that doesn't change anything because it is what it is today. So you focus on, the present and, forget about the past and just see how we can get better in the future. So, but to answer your question, of course, but I mean, it doesn't change a thing.
LeBron, what does it say about just the Western Conference? I know you guys probably don't think about it as much as fans do, but just that you and the Warriors are right now 9-10 and playing this kind of basketball.
Means we're a really good conference. A lot of good teams from top to bottom. Seriously, that can compete with any team in the league.
You mentioned that you had a hard time getting out of bed. Was it just like when did this kind of like really start? And I don't know if there's more you can tell us about just.
Well, when I got to the arena on Sunday, I mean, I do my normal prep, but like I said, I was getting worse as the minutes was going on as I was prepping for the game. And I know me more than anybody, and there was no way in hell I was going to be able to play in that game on Sunday. I just didn't feel right at all, So.
When did you know?
Last
tonight?
question.
When did you know tonight that you'd be all right or good enough?
Probably about 55 on the clock, 60 on the clock. Around the time I got here, I guess. I don't know. All right.
Lost like tonight, just what was the feeling like in the locker room, especially knowing what was at stake in terms of the standings and tiebreaker for postseason positioning?
I mean, it was a tough game for us. We were trying to figure out who's going to be there, who's going to play or not tonight, and I think as a team we just know already, like, we didn't have energy tonight, starting from the game, start of the game. And I think we, as a team, we just didn't bring the way that we used to play this couple games ago. We are rolling, we are playing together, but we didn't do that tonight, I feel like.
Rui, you knew it was going to be a different game without AD. What were the things that you guys tried to get accomplished without him out there, and where did you feel like you fell short?
I think the rebounding for sure. Rebound side, I know. Although the Golden State's a smaller team, but they're a very good rebound team, so we kind of focused on that. I think we did a good job on the rebound side, but I think the protecting the rim. When AD's on the court, like he's just always, behind us, protecting everything. So those are stuff, it was especially this team, we have to take away something, and especially they're a three-point team. So, and then when we deny them, of course the rim's gonna be wide open, and there was nobody really protecting tonight. So that kind of hurt us for sure.
And Rui, just how tough is it when the team's able to knock down 26 threes? It seemed like whenever you guys got close, they were able to knock down, a couple shots. Like, how tough was it?
Yeah, they had a great game for sure. It was our game plan for those guys that made threes tonight to let them shoot, kind of. So it was our game plan, and they did, So it's just we can't do anything about it.
Guys, for either of you, what was it like psychologically learning that AD was out tonight, and then also maybe, I guess, psychologically getting LeBron and sort of the not knowing exactly what the team was going to look like until 45 minutes or so before the game?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's tough, obviously, because those two are, what we are trying to do. They, do so much for our team. So, just knowing in, out, whatever the case is, kind of gives you a feel for, what is expected. But I think at the end of the day, Bron showed up and played a heck of a game, and obviously when you don't have AD, it's tough, just because he does so much for us. But I think we just got to be better all in all.
Rui, Darvin spoke just about the challenge ahead, and if you guys don't know who's in and out, there's a level of just competitive nature that needs to come out. You guys have been through a lot this year. How equipped do you think you are for these final 2 games of the regular season, no matter who is on the court and who's not?
Just being aggressive, both ends. Offensively, catch and shoot, drive, whatever. Score, and defensively, I gotta go 1-2-5. Ready to guard whoever in the front, and just to rebound too. I've been focused on the rebounding side, so I think most of all the stuff. Whatever it takes these teams to win. These next 2 games gonna be important for us too. So we just gotta focus on that for sure.
You guys mentioned the threes were part of the game plan, or just allowing certain guys to shoot. It's even more demoralizing when, Draymond hasn't, he made 5 threes tonight. He hasn't made 5 threes in like 7 years. So it's even more demoralizing when it's guys like that hitting the shots that they are.
You said Draymond ain't made 5 threes in 7 years?
Since like 2017 playoffs or something like that.
Oh, in a game.
In a game. Not
I
20.
was about to say, that's crazy. You tip your hat. At the end of the day, Draymond is, as a fierce competitor as, you see in the NBA, and it's not, it really doesn't surprise me if he, does that, just because, what he gives to the game, and, like, Rue said, some of those are game plan driven, and for him to just, step up and knock them down, you tip your hat and you move forward, and that's all you can really say about it.
Hachimura 選手お疲れ様です。今日ちょっとブロックされたりということがあったんですけれども、まずあれくらい私自身はそのブロックそこまでされたのは見たことなかったので、八村選手自身はそういった記憶とかってありますか？
そうですね。彼らも僕がアグレッシブに来るって分かってたので、その中で僕を守ろうとしてきたんじゃないかなと思うので、そういうスカウティングのところでもちゃんとやってたんじゃないかなと思うんで、そこで。僕がもっとダンクすればよかったなっていうの感じがあったんですけど、そこで緩んでしまったなところはありました。
すみません。昨シーズンと同じようにシーズン終盤でかなり激しいというか厳しい戦いが続いているんですけれども、その中で昨シーズンはチームとして勝ち切ってプレーオフまで出て勝ち進んでいったっていう、そこが今この厳しい状況の中でどれだけ自信につながってますか？
そうですね。去年もそう追い上げの中でやってきたので、今年もその中のリズムで乗ってきた中だったんですけど、この2試合ぐらいちょっとADとかもそうですし、レブロンとかも入ってたり試合出たりしなかったってことで、僕らのリズムがちょっと崩れたので、また次の試合からまだ2日あるので、そこでしっかりとリカバリーして、向けてその最後の試合2試合やっていきたいなと思います。
Austin, with 2 games left for you guys, how much do you look at the scenarios? Do you look at the scenarios of what you guys have to do to make sure you get into a good position in the play-in tournament?
Yeah, for me, I do. Obviously you want to, go up in the standings and, put yourself in a good position to, go make a run at this like we did last year. And, nothing's really any different now. You just got to show up, like I've said before, we got to handle our business first. And, whatever happens around the league happens, but good things don't happen if we don't win regardless. So that's the main focus, is to go play good brand of basketball, high level IQ basketball, and we like when we do that, then we feel like we can beat anybody. So that's the main thing. And yeah, I'll be watching other games, just because honestly I'm a fan of basketball. Thank you.
Darvin, we know the defensive game plan had to shift a lot without AD. Golden State ends up hitting all the threes. Was it 26? So what did you see for the majority of those looks, and what were you trying to get accomplished without AD on that end?
I mean, for the most part, I thought just, they shot a really good percentage. But, it's they had guys step up and make shots. It's a make-or-miss league, and it is what it is. It's a tough loss for sure. They put a lot of pressure on your defense. Not having AD back there as just our conductor, just communicating and moving around. Obviously very, very tough. But, we came into the game and feel comfortable with our game plan. And for the most part, majority of the game, we executed it. And, you have Draymond go 5 for 5 in the first half. You have Wiggs make a couple threes, then Podzimski and Gary Payton Jr. It's tough. The guys who you want, all NBA players are capable, don't get me wrong. But the guys you want shooting the ball, shot the ball, and when they're able to hold the water or maintain with those guys making shots, eventually Steph and Clay are going to make their shots. So that made it tough. And then obviously at the end of the third quarter, I think the last 3 minutes, they went on an 11-0 run, something like that. And they were blazing hot. But again, we don't have time to feel sorry for ourselves. We got to get our bootstraps together and get back on the drawing board, look at the film, and try to make the best of these last 2 games.
What did you make of LeBron's game, and what do you know about AD's availability for these final 2 games?
Well, obviously, we'll see how A wakes up tomorrow morning. I thought Brown was phenomenal going through what he's been through the last 48 hours. He came out and gave it his all. We had some good looks that didn't go down. Shots we normally make. It's a make-or-miss league. And so he did everything in his power to try to will the team back to a win, and it just didn't work out. We fell short.
Darvin, pregame you said that AD is not in the concussion protocol. Was the headache and nausea, do you know, is that the same? I mean, it's not impossible if it's the same virus, but is it illness-related? Is that what he's dealing with?
Yeah, I mean, you have to ask our doctors for sure. For sure. That's what it feels like to me. But again, I'm not a medical professional. You have to talk to our doctors.
And then just in terms of, I mean, when you remove your backline defender, I think like the first thought is like the other team's going to get to the rim a lot. How did not having AD, do you think, manifest itself on the 3-point line tonight? They never stop moving. They run a lot of different actions, curl splits and what have you, backdoor cuts. If you try to top block them, they're good at going backdoor, pitching it to an open guy, then right to an immediate DHO. So the guys everyone just had to be active and alert. And there were certain guys, we thought we could shift a little bit more off of, and those guys made shots. And so, again, that's the effect of Clay and Steph. Everybody's going to be on high alert with those guys running around, against their defense. But, Jax, I thought it made some great plays, just, playing a cat and mouse game, faking and fading. Thought Bron had some good shifts. We played some good defense, but they were just, again, they made threes. They were really hot, scorching hot from the 3-point line.
Pre-game, we asked you about just psychologically. It seemed like on Saturday this team was in as great of a place as it's been all season, and then obviously these back-to-back losses. What gives you confidence that a loss like this won't, trickle down to the last 2 games of the regular season?
I mean, if we think we are as competitive as I think we are, and then we really look within, it's a difficult situation, but it's not impossible. Again, we just need to do what we always done. Look at the things, and every team is not going to be like Golden State offensively. But just look within ourselves and see how bad we want it. Just come ready to work. That's it. It's it's not a mystery or a secret formula. If you're a competitor, and you have to be if you make it to this level, whether you're player, coach, executive, owner, whoever, you're a true competitor, then you'll make the best of a tough situation. And so I expect us to do that.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.